What's good, everyone? My name is Lewis Emmanuel. I'm coming to quickly address a little situation that we've all seen on Instagram, right? Because I've had a lot of questions about it, and I've had a lot of people worrying about what's going on with Ryan Crowley, yeah? So you guys have probably seen the video that I was posted, yeah? I'll put it up here. You don't need to see it again, innit? Because I'm sure if you're here, you've probably seen it already, yeah? But this whole incline press incident, yeah? And Ryan Crowley had a big pec tear, right? And it is probably one of the most horrific things I've ever seen happening to someone in the gym, right? I've never seen anything as bad as this. Yeah, this is fucking ridiculous, right? But I've had a lot of questions from people trying to ask why it happened and why they're so afraid. Because I've had a lot of people, they're talking about how they're afraid to incline press again, yeah? And let me get this straight, right? There's no hate or anything. I'm just literally gonna state all the points that I have from a powerlifting perspective, right? And I'm gonna tell you guys what happened in this video, yeah? So what I've got here, right now I'm just gonna be scrolling through Larry Will's video, yeah? It is his all-time bench press PR. It is incline bench press PR. That's the video where you see the behind the scenes and like the first part of how this all happened, yeah? Because he released 2 videos, right? But I'm gonna go over what's happening here, yeah? But yeah, just to state, just before, there's no hate going in here whatsoever, yeah? I'm just coming to explain to the people that are getting scared and their parents, for example, are getting a little bit shook of them actually going back to the gym because of something like this, yeah? First things first, yeah, Ryan Crowley, he is a bodybuilder, yeah? He's a very good bodybuilder. There is a problem with what he was doing, and there are many different fundamental things that led to the actual pec tear, yeah? So, thinking about it first, he is a bodybuilder, yeah? He does not do 1 rep maxes in the gym, right? Surrounded by Larry Wills, yeah, you're gonna be influenced, you understand, right? Surrounded by people that do something completely different to you, of course you're gonna be influenced, yeah? He knew full well in the back of his head, yeah? You know what, I can give this a whack, yeah, but will I get it? I'm not too sure, right? That is a problem, yeah? You need to be confident when you're doing lifts like this. There's major problems that come with ego lifting per se, yeah? Everyone knows there's problems with it, yeah? Shit like this can come from just little things, little tweaks to your fucking form and shit, yeah? Anything can make a difference, but what I'm gonna go through now, I'm just gonna go through the video, yeah? And I'm just gonna kind of explain to you guys what I'm thinking when I'm watching this, because I had to watch this back a couple times, right? Because in my head, I was going a little nuts, yeah? But one thing that I want to get straight, first of all, is I'll probably pop up right here, yeah?
See what I'm saying?
Oh, let me just apply a little pressure here. Yeah, he's not joking.
When you see Ryan start to bench, right? His range of motion, how tight he is on the bench is a fucking atrocious, okay? So think about this logically, yeah? If I'm doing an incline bench press, right? And what Larry says this at one point in the video as well, right? So Ryan's coming down, right? First of all, his hands are quite close, yeah? Which is gonna, realistically, he's gonna get a little bit more activation on his chest, yeah? When his arms are close, yeah? Because they're gonna be able to get a little bit more range of motion. But the bar stops about 3 inches off of his fucking blood clot chest, yeah? It's this much, yeah? He's got to hit his chest, right? And he says he can't go any further than that. Understand what that means, right? If he's got too much weight on there and it starts to push into the boundary where he can't actually go into, of course he's gonna fucking tear something, yeah? If you look at Larry Will's bench in the video, he comes straight to his chest, he can let it sink into his chest, and he starts pressing out. People say he's doing half reps, but realistically he's trying to be safe, right? There's a difference there. So let's just talk about what would happen if Larry fucked his lift, yeah? So let's say he tried 220, yeah? On the last rep he fucked it, right? He comes up all the way to his chest, yeah? There's not a point, right, where he's going to tear anything, because he can let it sit on his chest and nothing will tear because he's got the flexibility, he's got the range of motion, right? And that's from a powerlifting perspective. You need to have that range of motion when you're benching, right? But as a bodybuilder, realistically, you don't. You're just looking for the contraction. And realistically, if Ryan thought that the contraction is a lot better, yeah, when he's staying there, he probably did this for a good while, and then he realized, you know what, I can't even fucking go this deep, right? But Ryan had no place to rest it or to be safe in that lift, yeah? But Larry Wills, for example, yeah, he'd come down to his chest, rest it on his chest, put a bit of pressure with his arms whilst the spotters help him up, right? That is his safe zone. Here is his safe zone, right, on his chest. Ryan had no safe zone. right? If he couldn't get it up and the spotters weren't as quick as they were, yeah, I have no clue what would happen, yeah, but it would not have turned out good, yeah? But let's keep on going, yeah? So, obviously, as I said, if you look at the photo right next to me, yeah, that is his range of motion. He can't move at all. Anywhere under that, right? There's about 3 inches off of his chest. You know how bad that is if you're trying to go for a 1 rep max. This is why a bodybuilder wouldn't realistically go for a 1 rep max, because it is very dangerous. You have to be built for it. You know what I mean? You have to train specifically for that. Like, if I was a bodybuilder and I stuck to six rep maxes, that was the highest I've ever gone, right? And I decided, you know what, let me test my strength, right? And I jumped it all up. Bro, it's not gonna work, yeah? It's not gonna work. I haven't built myself for that. Yeah, I haven't trained, prepared for that, right? So there's your first problem, man. He shouldn't be doing it in the first place, yeah? But going to the lift, I'll go to the lift now, right? There's major issues with the actual lift itself as well, right? If you look at the way he's flaring out his elbows, because if you listen in the video, if you go watch a video, Larry tells him to keep his grip a little wider, right? So that a little bit wider, a little bit more stress on the actual muscle, right? That wasn't one of the best things he's ever said to him, yeah, but you can understand where he was coming from, right? But realistically, that was one of the factors, yeah, that put him into the position where he was, where he tore his pec, right? The flared out elbows to try and keep tension on your chest and on your anterior delt, yeah, it was not gonna work, right? If you don't have the range of motion in your shoulders, in the tendon here, and in your pec, it's not gonna work. You're gonna get stuck, right? And imagine someone trying to force you into a position that you shouldn't be in. Something's gonna tear, you know what I mean? You have to build the flexibility up beforehand, right? Looking at the lift, you could see when he was going down, right? He couldn't press it, right? He was coming down slow. He realized to himself, you know what? I can't even fucking do it. But where could he go? Yeah, verbally he couldn't say anything, right? So it was a physical pop. You can hear the pop in the fucking video. It's disgusting, yeah. But luckily, you have fucking Larry Wills behind you, who is probably one of the best spotters in the world, yeah, for doing that. That was one of the most craziest things I've ever seen. Yeah, casually picking up 220 by himself, like practically by himself, yeah, and lifting it back onto the bench. Yeah, he saved his life just by that one little encounter there, yeah. And that's one thing I have to stress as well. You need a good fucking spotter when you're doing weight like this, man. You need a spotter that represents the weight that you're lifting. You know what I mean? Like, realistically, I can get Leon to spot me when I'm doing 160 because I know I'm safe behind that weight, yeah. But if I'm going for something that's ridiculous, I need a spotter that can be straight on it. And if I get into any trouble, I need to know that I have full confidence in the person to be able to lift it off of me, right? And to keep me safe under that weight, you know what I mean? So luckily he had a spotter like Larry Wills to catch that fucking goddamn weight off of him, because there was no one else I would have known to be able to catch 220 kilos that easily, yeah, and save someone's life like that, right? But a lot of people have been getting scared of incline pressing, but one thing I can tell you is that when I watched that, I shit myself, right? But then you have to look behind and look at the reasons why it happened, you know what I mean? So first of all, he shouldn't have been doing it. Yeah, he's a bodybuilder. 1 rep maxes are not what you're supposed to be doing. Secondly, his range of motion is atrocious, right? He had no safety boundaries on his chest, so he has no safe spots to hit if you can't actually press the weight, which is one thing, a key aspect that you need to have, so make sure that your flexibility is good, right? Luckily, he had very good spotters there that were quite quick on it, right? But realistically, yeah, when you're doing something like this, yeah, it's not safe. Just, this game isn't safe, yeah, but you can minimize risk. Another point that I want to add in as well, if you have a look, Larry introduces him into wrist wraps, not wrist wraps, into elbow sleeves. It's PI elbow sleeves, right? I've tried these myself, and they're redonkulous. Yeah, you shouldn't be using them unless you have you've tried them before with lighter weight. Yeah, so I think it was like his 180 set that he started to use them, and he said to himself that it feels like you're springing up from the bottom, because that's what they're meant to. That's what they're meant to do, yeah? They're meant to limit the range of motion, right? They're meant to limit the range of motion in your hand, right, in your arm, so that it's super tight at the bottom, so it just gives you that extra spring at the top, right? The problem with these is that it makes you feel like you can do weight that you realistically can't, right? So that's why I'm always very careful and I'm very on point with telling people whenever I see it happen, yeah, make sure not to use these when you're benching, because this realistically is the main cause of any injuries, is thinking that you can do more because of a piece of equipment, yeah? That's why you see a lot of people injuring themselves whilst they're using slingshots when they've got the big band around them, right? In the front, so you tie it to both your biceps, your arms here, and it goes across and it helps you at the bottom. The one problem that I see is that people overload it too much because they feel like they can do it, yeah? Because they feel like the equipment is helping them so much that they can add 20, 30, 40, 50 kilos on top of their bench, when realistically it won't do anything for you, you know what I mean? So going back into the gym, you guys, yeah, don't use any sort of wrap around your elbow that's going to help you a lot, yeah? Because the problem with that, you're going to think to yourself you can do a lot more weight than you can, and then you will fall into a little injury like this, yeah? Which is not a little injury, what the fuck? It's not even a little injury, it's something major like this. That is going to happen, right? So just make sure you know where your limits stand, yeah? Don't use equipment that is going to push you to the point where your body shouldn't be at the minute, you know what I mean? For example, if he used elbow sleeves instead, elbow sleeves are more protection wise, they just add a little bit more stress onto your elbow just to keep it a little bit more safe, yeah? That is definitely a better option to go to rather than using wraps. It's like when you're doing a quick lifting as a powerlifter, when you're wrapping your knees, right, and how easy it is on squat, rather than just chucking sleeves on and squat. There's a big difference, you know what I mean? It's the same with elbows, yeah? But just make sure you're doing weight that you should actually be doing. Don't try anything stupid when you're doing these lifts, because honestly, it's not a joke. It's not a joke at all, because you can seriously injure yourself on any exercise, so make sure you're doing it correctly, yeah? For everyone saying they're scared to go back and do incline press and stuff, right? All you gotta think about realistically is make sure that you're flexible enough to do what you're doing, yeah? If you get stuck in that same position, right, and you can't touch your chest, then I suggest go back and do some other exercises that you'll be able to give a lot more stretch, that you'll be able to build a lot more flexibility in your shoulder. For example, doing pec flies, right, with a deep stretch, maybe banded pec flies, whatever, will open out just this tendon here, right, so it's not as stiff, it's not as tough, and then when you're coming down for that press, just week by week, yeah, you just want to make sure you're building that flexibility so that you have that safe point at the bottom of your chest that you can touch to. And my opinions on this, yeah, this was nuts. This realistically, this shouldn't have happened. You know what I mean? He shouldn't have fucked himself up like this, right? And it's a mistake that he made, yeah, and obviously, of course, he's going to suffer the consequences for that, yeah. But I don't think anyone has to worry about it happening to them, because if you make sure that everything is correct, your form is correct, your flexibility is on point, your spotters are paying the utmost attention they should, right? When you're lifting, there's never going to be a problem like that, right? For example, I did a 140 on incline when I was back in my old house. I shot myself. I had full confidence in myself that I did have a safe boundary to go to, because as a powerlifter, you build up the flexibility in your shoulders and your chest, yeah, for when you're benching and stuff. So I knew I had the full confidence in myself that if there was a problem, I could bring it down to my chest, and my spotter behind me was able to pull it off from my chest and put it back on the rack for me. You need to have that confidence, you need to have the flexibility, and don't try this, yeah, if you're not used to doing more maxes, you know what I mean? Yeah, realize how much weight this was, and that's why it happened. You know what I mean? 220 kilos on a bench, on an incline, right? And you're a bodybuilder, you haven't gone past like, what, 190, 180. Yeah, of course there's going to be problems that are going to occur in it, but just stay safe when you're trying to do all of this dumb shit, yeah? But I'm going to link his GoFundMe in the description, because this is poor, this is absolutely atrocious, isn't it? So if you guys can help in any way, shape or form, go check out the link in my bio. Just make sure that this guy's a speedy recovery, man, because this is fucking shocking. It's absolutely shocking. But one thing I want all you young lifters out there to realize is that this will not happen to you, yeah? Just make sure you stay safe and don't let the ego side take over things when you're trying to lift, yeah? Because that is probably the one biggest problem. Don't let anyone else influence you. As much as if it's Larry Wills, I don't give a fuck. Just don't let no one influence you, yeah? Because that is where problems occur, right? just work how you can work. Make sure you stay safe. Make sure you build the flexibility up in your shoulders, yeah, so that none of this will happen to you. As a powerlifter, realistically, I don't think it will happen to you. Just make sure you're doing your daily stretching. Make sure whenever you're trying to go for something heavy, make sure you're ready. Make sure you have the people around you, yeah, so that if anything does go wrong, they're straight to it, yeah. But apart from that, guys, that's my opinion. Like, it shouldn't have happened. It was a bit of a careless act, innit? What can we say, man? I mean, it's atrocious. It was really, really bad, man. I've never seen anything like it, and I wish that upon no one, man, honestly. So if you guys can help, just make sure to click the link in the bio. Go check it out, man. Go see if you can donate whatever you can. But yeah, any more information on it, yeah, I'm gonna probably chuck it on my Instagram. I'll probably chuck something on my Instagram for you guys to go have a little read, and I'll just break down everything that I feel like could have went differently, first of all, and how you guys can avoid doing anything like this in the future when you go back to the gyms and stuff. But yeah, anyways, yeah, that's my take on it. I just thought I'd do this real quickly, just to let you guys, just to inform you guys, all you long lifters, you can't be doing none of this stuff, man. Don't worry about it. Make sure you go back to the gym, make sure you're doing everything that you were doing before. Just make sure you're staying safe whilst you're doing it all, yeah? No ego lifting, just make sure you work with the weight and you work up with the weight. Don't make no silly jumps. Make sure you've got the people around you that can make sure that when you're doing lifts like these, you can stay safe and protected whilst you're doing them, yeah? But yeah, anyways, guys, I hope you lot like this video, yeah? If you have any other questions or queries, yeah, just make sure to chuck them in the comments below. I'm gonna reply to all of them today because I do want to hear what you guys think of it as well. But yeah, give me your opinion. Give me your opinion. Message me on Instagram, wherever you want to message me, because I want to hear what you guys have to say about this, yeah? Because there's a lot of different opinions out there, and I feel like it would help for me to see any of your opinions on it. But yeah, I hope Ryan a fucking speedy ass recovery now, because that is fucking horrible. But yeah, guys, I hope you're having a good day. Go check out my Instagram if you want to go hear a little bit more about this subject. And yeah, I should be posting a little bit more on there. But yes, anyways, guys, I hope you're all having a blessed day, and I'll catch you in a bit. Peace.